Kitten. Okay, I'm here with Kitten. Now, every day he has to take his supplement, which I've been crushing into a powder and mixing with a tuna paste tube lickable treat. But it's gotten a little expensive. So I printed this off of Reddit. Well, you probably can't see it very well, but basically it's in the subreddit Frugal. And so it calls for fish oil. So I got that. Canned protein. I didn't go with canned. I got this from the international store. And then guar gum. This was hard to find, but I got it on walmart.com. So I also got these. Took forever for everything to get here, but I got these. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay, I got them from Jeff Bezos. There's like 100 of them in here. And they're supposed to be for lip gloss, but we're going to use them for chew root. So it'll all be pureed together. So I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I was rewatching that. There's a couple things I forgot. So this came from PetSmart, so it's supposed to be for animals. And the mackerel, okay, so I think it would have been better if I could find filet. But the main thing I was looking for was no salt, no additives. Because that's the difference for me. Well, I try not to give my cat canned fish unless it's made for cats because of reasons like that. And the guar gum is just normal guar gum. I think that's how you pronounce it. For humans. So hopefully it'll be more frugal, but I also think it might be good like for protein, you know what I mean? Because there is a lot of protein in here. The main thing I think is going to be making sure that the mackerel has all the bones taken out. Yeah, but protein and mackerel also has extra omega-3, so that'll be good for his heart. Okay. Well, it's the next day. Let's see how we did. I have this lock on here because otherwise my little cat sometimes accidentally opens the freezer. Okay, so this is all our to-go. I organized recently. This is food or vegetables, soy mostly, and fish. So this little cubes thing is made out of silicone. I got that from Jeff Bezos as well for this project because I put the fish oil in there because the jar that I showed you, like, I don't know how long it was going to last, but probably not very, like, super long. So I put it all in the freezer and then I made these. Now, my only complaint is that, and I'm probably going to complain about this to Amazon, that the little tubes, like, it's got this part, but it's supposed to have a cap to go on the outside, and I only got like maybe 5 of those out of a container of like 110 lip gloss tubes. So that was annoying, but let me tell you about this process. So it was pretty, so I thought the hardest part was going to be deboning the mackerel, which was quite difficult because I was so afraid of there being like a pin bone left in, and then Kitten would eat it and get sick. But that did not happen, fortunately. As well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got all the bones out anyway. But the hardest part was definitely getting them into the little containers. So this is, I put some in here. So I'm going to defrost them individually because, like, obviously churros are sealed so they last forever, but these are going to have to be in the fridge. So this is like the next 3 days worth of tuna paste or mackerel paste, sorry. But again, like I said, they have the tube, but they don't, and they have the little lip portion that would be used for lip gloss, but they don't have the outer cap, which I thought, I mean, I think it was a mistake that they weren't put in the thing. But, so now the expense of churu. So the churros were pretty expensive, but with the homemade ones, I have the setup. I have the ice cube trays. I have the I have more of the tubes. I just didn't get the caps for them. I have the guar gum. I have the fish oil. So next time I want to do this, all I would need maybe some more tubes, but also more fish. So if it's just the cost of the fish, it should be cheaper moving forward than buying the pre-made cat food. So I'll try to link also the Reddit post that inspired all of this, along with product links. I'm not sponsored. The only thing, we might give me like a buck or something in store credit if enough people buy the mackerel. So full disclosure there, but I don't really think, I don't think like it's like a sponsored, it's not considered sponsorship. It's definitely not considered sponsorship. I do not have any sponsors. So, yeah, so I'll link the products. So if I were going to do it again, it would just be the cost of the fish, but I think I also would need like, you know, those like caulking guns, but for cake icing, because I feel like that would be a much better way to fill up these things, because filling them up with the little provided like funnel thing was tough. And I tried using an icing bag. It made it a little better, but it kept getting clogged. So I think an icing gun would have saved the day, but they're like $35. So anyway, and they come with like all the fixings. Listen, I'm not actually decorating a cake, you know, I'm just filling up 2 root tubes. So anyway, so that's us. So yeah, you know. Oh, and while we're here, okay, so Kitten, today is the 27th. Look, Kitten only has 1 more week of his stupid, because he only has 1 dose this day. He doesn't have to do the second one. 1 more week of his meds, so that's good. And while I'm doing projects, I already have the emergency for the turtle, but I'm gonna put up emergency folders for in case if the cat had an emergency, because he woke up Christmas morning with like the worst diarrhea of his life, and I was freaking out. So I called the urgent care vet, and he was fine, but I was like, well, I need to have a plan for in case of an emergency. So I'm gonna put all that on the fridge. I like doing little crafty home decorating projects anyway, so it should be good. Wish us luck. I love Christmas break. All right, thanks guys, bye. Oh man, I forgot the most important part. Okay, so to make this real quick. Okay, so first I took the fish oil and poured it in these trays. The trays were obviously flat, like on a cookie sheet or a baking sheet, in the freezer until they were frozen. And then these are bendy, so I put them all in this bag after they were frozen. They better not ever melt, because then I'm gonna have to go through the whole process again. But now these are made into little ice cubes, but they were flat when they were freezing, obviously. And then I took the mackerel, cooked the mackerel in the oven, as you do, removed all the pin bones. I saw a video on how to remove pin bones like from a salmon, and that was helpful. But yeah, because the ones that I got were mackerel steaks, so they had the pin bones, which was annoying, but you know, it is what it is. Removed all the bones after cooking them, and then put them, I mixed up some of the fish oil. I took some of the fish oil, microwaved it for a little bit to melt it, mixed it with the guar gum powder. The ratios are all in the recipe that I'm going to link to, but about twice as much oil as guar gum. Mix it together, put the oil and the guar gum with these. Now pureeing it was tough because it kept gumming up the blender, and what it turns out that they did not say in the recipe, you have to add a lot of water, because you want it to be, if you want it to be like a paste or like a almost like runny, like a smooth homogeneous consistency, so it'll come out of the little tubes. Oh, this is one that actually does have the lid, but then you have to add a ton of water so it'll come out like toothpaste or something, rather than being gooey and hard to squeeze. So yeah, so add a ton of water, blend it up with the fish oil, guar gum powder, and fish, and spend an unreasonable amount of time putting them in here, or get one of those icing things. Okay. Yep, that's it. All right, bye.